My dear students, let us have a look on test process in this class. In the previous class, we were saying about what is test plan and what are the various components of a particular test plan. Here, testing is not just an activity which is going to be carried out by a single person. So here, testing is a process rather than an activity. It starts from planning phase, followed by designing of test cases, then preparing those test cases for execution, and finally we will evaluate and tell whether the test has passed or not, and then we'll close the testing process. Now let us see in detail about what are the various phases involved in the test process. Yes? So here, as already mentioned, test process is not a single activity. It is a sequence of steps which is carried out to reach the end results. So the first phase of test process is putting together and baselining a test plan. Once you have created your test plan, baselining need to happen. Baseline means after the baseline is done, nobody can change the entire test plan. If revisions are required, that can be done only in the next test plan or next version of the test plan. This baselining or reviewing is done by a person who is different from the test manager. Okay, so the reviewing and approval is given by a different person other than the testing manager or the testing person. Okay, so followed by the second stage. Second stage is test case specification. So in the test case specification, it includes the purpose of the test, items to be tested, environment to perform the test process, input data, steps to execute, expected results, and step to compare the results. So here we will be having two types of results. One is the actual result, the other one is the expected result. So after the comparison of actual and the expected results, you can say whether the test has passed or failed. Stage 3 of test process is update of traceability matrix. So in unit 2, we were learning about what is a traceability matrix. So traceability matrix contains all the requirements which we are going to perform the testing process along with the test cases and IDs and status of test. So here once this plays a tool to validate whether all the requirements present in the requirement specification are tested or not. Next stage of test process is identifying possible candidates for automation. So now after finding the requirements, you have your test specification, everything in your hand. You need to find out which things can be automated. So here things which can be automated is the repetitive task, efforts which involves more effort, amount of manual intervention is very less, and the cost of tool not be automated. Stage 5 of test process is developing and baselining the test cases. So here we will develop the test cases and baseline it. Again, the change history of test case is also important. That documentation will be present in this stage 5. Stage 6 is executing test cases and keeping traceability matrix current. So test cases will be executed and the matrix will be updated. So this updated matrix updation happens along with the defect repository updation also. Stage 7 of test process is collecting and analyzing the metrics. So here all the test logs will be maintained and the entire testing process will be recorded, and finally those data will be fed up into the metrics and will be analyzing whether it has passed the test or not. Stage 8 is preparing a test summary report. This report will be the final stage of your testing process. This summary report tells about whether the product is fit to release into the market or not. Stage 9. Stage 9 is recommending the product release criteria. It means that we'll be recommending, that is this, in this phase the entire defects present inside the particular software will be listed out, and also the severity and impact of those defects is also documented. So if we release the product with the defects, what will be the risk out of the product, all those things will be documented. So this tells you whether you can release the product into the market or not. So the entire testing process contains 9 stages. In each stage it has some volume of work, and it starts with the test plan and ends with recommendations of recommendations whether the product can be released into the market or not. So guys, again, test process is not a single activity, it is a process which involves various phases. That's what we were seeing in the entire class. The summary of all the phases is given here for your reference. Thank you guys for your patient listening. Thank you all.